Hello, everybody. This is the final episode in the Metro reading series, and we'll be doing Metro Exodus. It's going to be mostly a bunch of random stuff, honestly. So, August 11th. We've arrived. So far, so good. Just a couple of rats. The guys are unloading the trolley. August 12th. Not enough people to cover the old roadblocks. Kolya went to get some more volunteers, but for now we'll just cover the platform in the airlock. It looks like Mikelich isn't going to finish the repairs anytime soon. The mechanism is rusted solid. August 13th. Shot a couple of watchmen. The beast got inside unnoticed under the steps. Cunning fuckers. The airlock drive is dead. Mikelich says he can't promise anything. Running short on filters. Time to improvise. I guess. We'll just weld the gates shut with a sheet of steel and think later. August 14th. There's a stampede of watchmen up there. They haven't attacked yet, but still. Koya brought the welding apparatus, but we can't even start the work. As soon as we make the slightest noise, they start howling up there. For now, we decided on setting up some traps. Artem Chorny. Chorny? I don't know how to say his name. Born, oh my god, I'm tweaking. 3103-2009. Blood type AB. AB positive. Admitted on. Come on, it's the third time. Diagnosis: radiation sickness relapse. Light form. Approx dose 1-1.5 GY. Prognosis favorable. Treatment: blood transfusion 0.5 K. Three times a week. Kali iodidum? That's a big word. Bed rest, no going to the service for a year at least. July 6, 2013. Too late. Sure went to buy food. I was going to roll the chair into the balcony to have some fresh air when the civil defense broadcast started. Crowds outside, everyone's running somewhere. Missiles are flying. Flashes blinded me even with the curtains down. I still see green spots everywhere. I hope Shura made it to the metro. I thought I was done for, but it looks like I still have some time. It's night and the streets are empty and silent, just sirens blaring everywhere. And there's this green fog everywhere, and it's fluorescent, or is it just my eyes? Phone's dead, radio too. Shura, Shura, my dear, I pray you're all right. I don't feel good. Very weak. Goodbye, Shura. Tulek, if you find that bookstore, look for these. Radio Amateur's Guide, 1970. Radio for Teenagers, 1979. Build Your Own Radio, 1955. How to Build a Detector Receiver, 1950. Radio to Reception, Simple AM Receivers, 1967. Radio in the Rural Areas, 1963. Radio in the Field, 1964. We don't need anything fancier. There are no components anyway, so we'll have to build it from pencil lead and empty tins. Sure as no. Vegetable oil, 1 liter. Clava from the main office. My ring. Sugar, 2 kilograms. Rosa Alexandrovna. Silverware, buckwheat, 4K. It's just a shopping list. Serioza, we made it. You can drive almost to the ramen skill. Just stay away from the highway. It's all blocked with scrap. From there, you'd have to walk, of course, at least across the ring road. This place is alive, all right. The guys there have in their army are healthy as bulls. They're taking us to a filtration camp, but I don't think they'll keep us there long. A couple of days tops. Then they'll find some work for us. I already heard the guards talking of being short on hands. I say, you guys drop everything and come over here. I'll get everything ready. I'll send those as soon as I can. Dad. God, I'm getting spit in my mouth. Outgoing, number 253, blah, 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 top secret 2, Lieutenant Colonel Relief, head of the supply depot. In reply to your request from 2303, I can report that the number of personnel at the external perimeter radio jamming station is, as of 0102, 4,786 people, 3,857 of which number are special guard detail personnel to be supplied with extra means of individual protection. 720 23 are maintenance workers and 206 are command personnel. Deputy Head of Special Department, Major Schroin. To all personnel of the SHIELD Project Special Guard Detail. In recent years, there's been a noticeable increase in the number of attempts to breach our defenses by spies and enemy agents belonging to previously uncommon demographics. Women, old people, teenagers. This serves to prove the utmost efficiency of the Special Detail's defense effort, leaving the enemies no chance of ever achieving their goals by mapping our defense perimeter and carrying out sabotage by employing standard tactics. Oh, jeez. For that reason, all members of Special Guard Detail personnel must carry out their duties responsibly and never falter in applying the special measures to any and all enemy agents detained. Remember, the enemy is resourceful and deceitful. The enemy is desperate enough to throw the last reserves into battle. Still, the enemy resources are still vast. A cornered rat is only more dangerous. Defense Council. The Commonwealth of the Stations of the Ring Line Treasury. To Lieutenant Colonel Taubman, Special Mobile Strike Force Commander. Colonel, I have confirmed the emergency remittance of 6,000 military-grade 7.62 rounds and 200-round belts as per the requisition form, blah, blah, blah. You submitted, but I must remind you of the imminent consequences should this transaction not result in a resounding success. Your operations, although not devoid of certain flair and thus tending to be reviewed favorably, have not been a consistent strain on our budget. The present remittance is an overdraft allowed only due to the credit of trust your record has granted you. It will be scrutinized up at the nearest board meeting. Excuse me. I hope you understand that this time you positively must produce a satisfactory return on this investment. Signed, Y. Can't even say that name. Voloshovsky? I don't know. Yeah, sure. They're onto something. I could only swap 2 belts. They kept too close a watch. Make sure you spend them, because I'll be taking the whole shipment back to the Treasury this time. This gig was fun while it lasted. Time to split before we're put on the red list. To Head of SHIELD Project Railroad Department, Shilozanak VM, Railway State Survey Report. Having conducted the Railway State Survey as per your order, I can report that beyond the defense perimeter, the railway is in condition ranging from acceptable to good, thus presenting a security threat by providing a convenient way for the enemy to transport and supply their agents. On the other hand, within defense perimeter, the railway is worn down beyond acceptable state, which could lead to a complete halt of train movement along the most used lines in the nearest future, putting defensibility of Moscow in great danger by disrupting our lines of supply and reinforcement transportation. Considering aforementioned, I hereby request that all available maintenance crews are sent to work on repairing the most damaged sections of the critically important lines, using the rails and cross ties from the lines beyond the 101-kilometer mark in the center of Moscow, thus, at the same time, effectively denying the enemy to use the railways leading into the city. Deputy Head of Special Survey Committee, Podorenko TK. July 12th, 2028. They say any landing you walk from isn't good enough, but what about my case? Could have been worse, of course. The other 3 can't even move. Shura and Nick got away with just bruises, though. Nick made a splint for me and more or less put the leg back together. It sure hurts like hell. We're in a tight spot with bogs all around. We sure are not walking to that village Shura said he saw until we at least have a path laid out. Looks like we're settling here for the time being. The good thing is that we managed to build a camp and get everyone there. The bad thing is that the plane is leaking fuel badly, so we must be quick with getting our stuff out before it catches fire or something. An unexpected bonus, there are no mosquitoes here, which is weird. July 14th, 2028. There are other things. They left tracks in the muck last night, which don't look anything like we've seen. Glad we've got the guns. Who knows what those things were. Better get some power in case they come at night. I wonder if we could drive that ram turbine with the bike we had in the luggage. July 15th, 2028. Oh my god, they got Nick. He went to that ram turbine, they got him. Huge, greenish-gray praying mantis-like monsters. Shotgun did nothing. Sheriff fired both barrels, but the shot just bounced off. They were perfectly hidden, as if they knew where to wait for him. Fucking monsters. Nick. We should have stayed home. July 16th, 2028. We have two options: try to get help from the village now, or wait till the food runs out and then try then. At least we have time to think about it. It looks like the monsters are afraid of fire and don't approach our camp while the fire is going. Shura says it's up to me, as the others are mostly drifting in and out of consciousness. Well, I just almost spit in my mouth. But how can he be so calm? I still can't get over what happened to Nick and this fever. Shura left. His message still, it's bullshit. Just let him get to the dry land, please. They are crawling around at night, clicking their mandibles. What an awful sound. Can't sleep. Have to keep the fire going. Luckily, Shura left enough firewood. The others can't move at all, but my fever is a little lower now, so I can't stand it anymore. Can't sleep. We'll try walking tomorrow. I need some more firewood at least. Shura. God damn it. Fucking beast. I found his backpack less than 100 meters from the camp. Took all my speed to hobble back before they noticed me. Fucking monsters. They're crawling around, splashing in the mud, clicking their claws. The sound, it's driving me nuts. Lucky the guys are passed out most of the time. Don't bother them so much. My fever is back. Don't know if I'll be able to keep this up. It's not so bad with the fire crackling, really. The fever is getting worse. I don't know the date. The leg is all black. Can't write. Sharpened a couple of sticks and gave them to the guys. Hope they can hold them. The monsters are getting closer. I just can't anymore. Dima, you know I have to try. I'm the only one left who can move, and we have to get help. Otherwise, the guys are as good as dead. So Titan, don't you dare pull a typical like you did back then. See you around. What are they even thinking just bringing all this shit here? It's gotta be disposed of properly. Fucking crooks in the disposal. Splitting the funds with the generals while we get to park our asses on decades-old shit. I wonder if it gets worse or better when it expires. And which would be better for us. The barrels sure look like they could start leaking any moment now. We'll need to requisition a spare protective suit. Daria, you were right. They really do grow at an anonymously fast rate. I just identified 2 of the newborn litter we ringed last year, and they are adolescent now. This is amazing. Pack the recorder and the batteries. We're setting up shop here. It's a perfect observation spot. By the way, while you're at it, give Mikhail a rabies shot. He got bitten by one. Insist it's nothing serious, but just in case. Lucky I persuaded him to go fetch the equipment and bring you. I'll be waiting here. Good day to you, Sever, and a firm handshake to all your respectable people in turn. I've been notified of doubts amongst our men, so I decided to clarify those. Fanatics do not respect the code. They do things like feeding men to that fish of theirs that are simply unacceptable amongst respectable folk. That's why all respectable people are to treat them as cattle, not men. Do not carve them up, but put them in pens. Our brothers from Astrakhan, always thankful for a shipment of those. Good luck and good health to you in the spirits of freedom. Long live the thieves. Thief Gleiba. Gleiba? Yeah. Brother Peter, you will have to abandon your holy quest and bring your party back. A new group of heathens has apparently appeared at our very gate. There are reasons to believe that they may be far more dangerous for us than our usual assailants, as they seem to not just be able to prey on our blood and fruit of our toil, but quite capable of assaulting and destroying the very foundations of our faith. Your demon fighters will have to return to the bridge and keep their vigil until it's time to bring the mailed fist of our Lord's judgment upon the heads of the heretics, Silantius, an unworthy servant of our Lord. Nikolai. We can't go on like this forever. You must understand, we must either remove that sign or set up a roadblock or do something. The people keep on coming in. The last family to arrive had to push their car for 6 kilometers. They almost got violent when they found out that we had no gas. Yes, we were a government-designated civilian emergency supply point, and it's not our fault that the tanker never arrived. But you can't expect me to explain that to all the people who come in driving on fumes only to find out that they'll have to abandon their last possessions. Luckily, we still have some of the emergency rations left in that train stuck on the bridge. Incidentally, that's exactly where I'm going to move with that's exactly where I'm going to move with some of the more agreeable people here. So when you finally catch that tanker, you can look me up there. Or better yet, just bring it over there. We're going to need that gas if we want to live through the winter. To whoever may find this note, may the Lord bless you and absolve your sins. You are most definitely worthier of divine help than I ever was. I have sinned by trying to achieve more than was ever expected of me, and I was punished for my folly. I should have exterminated the electrical demons as my penance commanded, and my holy tools allowed me to. But I gave in to the sin of lust for greater glory and decided to lure it into the lair of the beastmen. The demon killed the god-awful beasts, but now I can neither approach it nor escape this place, which now must become my grave. My only regret is that my bones remain here and have been consumed by the starfish, cleansing my soul of sins, forever denying me the right of passage to the heavenly gates, unless the faithful take pity on me one day and take them up to the house of the fish. In prayer for this, I shall spend the remainder of my time in this mortal coil. Yuri S., a worthy servant of the Lord. I need to turn this light off. It's making it kind of hard to see. Where is my light switch? There it is. 1 second, guys. Right back. Brother, I totally understand your lack of confidence, but he was telling the truth. I got the information from him personally. You know what I mean. X is where they hid all the good stuff that they were carrying to the terminal. No doubt about that. I have to move quick if we want that loot. I know you will need to take Luzga on board to help you, and as a respectable man, I agree to an even 3-way split. You will do all the footwork, yes, but I have given you the map, my gun. You'll also keep the rest of the boys busy with the game while you dig. Sora. Although during the moments of clarity, he kept his mouth shut. For most of the time. When his fever would relapse, he would ramble, and his ramblings terrified us. The stranger from the south was not coherent, but the picture his disjoint words painted was that of hell on earth, the burning sea, oil spurting from the ground and engulfing man and beast alike in fire, battles lost, and people subjugated by the amorphous menace he only referred to as the Horde, and engines all the time. This man had suffered in life from the god-awful contraptions and electricity far more than we could have ever imagined, and probably had atoned for all his sins by that suffering alone. But after his death we carried out the rite as if he were one of the faithful, and the starfish took his soul straight to the kingdom of our Lord. Servant of our Lord at Lavina. Oh yeah. Death ledger. So old age, mushroom poisoning, fried, eaten, died of starvation, eaten. I'm gonna guess killed by their own people, sick, eaten, drowned, fell, hungry, sick, drowned, eaten, sick, killed himself, starved to death, eaten, sick, yikes. Finally, I managed to get those spores from the polluted zone. The month I spent improving the filter was worth it. The substrate is ready. Time to start planting. Mycelium is growing well. I'll be getting the first mushrooms soon. The distiller is almost finished. I can't waste any time. The first batch is ready. I've seeded the test media. Control media show normal bacterial colony growth. Test samples are clear. Test samples are still clear. Success? All rats are alive. Enough delays. Time to move on to the actual test. Pneumonia seems too risky. Angina will have to do. Classic angina symptoms. There are no syringes to be found anywhere anyways. No changes. Noticeable improvement. High spirits. General condition improved. Angina symptoms eliminated. High spirits. Light sensitivity. Knocking noise outside. Perfect health. No side effects. Amazing clarity of thought and perception. Thoughts clear. Perfect health. Irritating knocking noise outside. Need better rectification. Remove impurities. Increase active agent count. New batch done. Triple rectification. Perfect state of health, no extraneous noises, an influx of vigor, perfect muscle tone. I feel like flying. Too many ideas to record. This is the discovery of the century. Knocking outside, roof, walls, floor, bringing me down. Tremor. Better, feet warm, hands enormous, gnarly. Back unconscious. Tremor, shivering, vomiting. Knocking again. The room swims. They have arrived. They are waiting. This is the smile. It seems that Roman, even though he spoke ill of our Holy Father Silantius and was punished for that by God, was right about one thing. We have to not simply fight the demons of electricity, but get rid of all the remains of gone-awful technology that attracts them. How do we go about finding them? A metal detector seems to be the only way. I have to go back to using technology, the worship of which I cast away so long ago. Lord, forgive me this sin. This place will do. Even if I'm punished for the sin of technology worship, at least the innocents will be spared from divine retribution. I have all the materials and knowledge I need, so I'm starting my work with a prayer. The detector is running. With God's help and while reciting a prayer constantly, I was able to clear a large patch of our cloister's holy ground from all the vestiges of technological heresy. It ended up being a substantial haul of scrap metal. Our blacksmith would be overjoyed to get it, but you just can't use things obtained through heretical means, so I had to throw it all into the river. So speaketh the Lord through the mouth of Silantius, the holy sage. There is no forgiveness for those who would seek to use the accursed technology, no matter what their purpose would be. I didn't heed those words, and thus was punished for this folly of conceit. The accursed mutants got a jump on me. I can't stop the bleeding. Feeling colder by the minute. You who would read these scribbles, do not repeat my mistake. Do not try to fight evil with evil. Take the satanic garbage I have collected here and the fruit of my ill-advised labor to the house of the fish. The fish will protect our sanctuary from this taint of technology and electricity. Amen. 12 patients, 8 acute radiation syndrome, stage 3, blah blah blah. Prognosis in all cases is poor. I've left is 32 flasks of ampicillin and 40 flasks of tramadol. 550. This is just like getting sick and stuff. I don't really care about this. Shooter. Dear Daddy, I write this so you know where to look for Mommy and me when you come back. Because Mommy and I wanted to stay, but Silentius says we must go to the tower and leave this car, and I don't want to. I wanted to wait for you in the car, bub. Mommy said I can't. And Silentius said you won't come back because you failed the test of faith. He is a stupid liar because you never needed any test as their faith is dumb. I remember you said so. Mommy said nothing, but I know she is waiting for you too. So please come back soon and take us away from this fools. I love you very much. Aww. I just lucked out. Missing the construction milestone was the best thing ever after all. To think I was so upset about that stupid bonus. What does a pile of ash need bonus for? Now we have made it. The government didn't arrive after all. So... Is that my mic? Anyway. So all the complex is ours with all of its stores. The bunker was supposed to save a whole town. There's just a couple of thousands of us. The only problem is in the Babe department, but we'll just wait till the radiation's dissipated and calmly walk down the mountain, or rather crawl up from under it. Some fucking luck. The government didn't arrive for a reason, after all. This thing is... Somebody that did a better number on food reserve budget than the construction one. We did manage to build the thing, even if late, but the stores are empty. Sure thing, all quartermasters are crooks. They had it coming, but the bastards were telling the truth after all. The shelves are empty. Well, there are some seeds and pasta, but that shit won't even last us a year. Everyone just sits still. The stomach doesn't even bother me anymore. Good thing I didn't listen to the fools about drinking a lot. Will last at least a week more. Joints swollen, hard to write. I don't think I can write about this, but I must. They made a soup a week ago. 5 idiots in the barrack keeled over at once. They gobbled it up and burst their gut. I couldn't touch it for a day. Then I tasted a bit last night and hurled immediately. By the morning, it tasted like chicken. At least I can write again. Thought I was a goner for sure. Fucking let them in. Fuck the radiation. It's been over a year. They're outsiders. Don't even need a share. Let them draw lots or whatever. The point is, we'll have food for months now. Hurt all over. Fever. Thoughts tingling. Doc said shit about some Privons or something. The outsiders had them. The fucks. Should have roasted them fucks better. Too late now. Fuck. It's been over a month already since we became rats in a hole here. And what do we have to show for that? We don't even know anyone's still alive out there. All the antennas were destroyed, and the radiation levels are so high that there's no way to fix them. Though, even if the antennas were okay, would anyone have any reason to contact us? The bigwigs never arrived after all. Looks like the construction workers are right, though. We better get ourselves comfortable here, as we're in for a long run. Those idiots with that council of theirs. I'd forgive the workers if they came up with bullshit like that, but why do the officers want to play those games? Just to be able to push the blame onto the government decree when they cut the rations again? How is it supposed to help? If there simply are no food reserves no matter what. Lunacy. You're right. We, the radio technicians, are here for a reason. We will not just save our comrades, we will also help thousands of survivors outside. Only thing we need to do is fix the antennas, let the real government know we're alive. They'll send us food shipments, and then the ARC project will provide a shelter from radiation for all survivors. What could be more important now? Nothing can be done. They have 5 days at most. At least Doc says he can give them something for the pain. Who could have known they'd go up there to fix the antennas? Boys, should have told me. Should have at least worn the suits. It's up. I just sent the first message. Made it. The boys are still alive. Alyosha even smiled when I told him. At least now they'll know they didn't die in vain. So I get the radio online, and they remove me immediately. I can't even get any news. They say it's all secret, put guards at the door too. The bastards. They struck me from the special rations distribution list. Way to reward honest effort. This is terrible. How do the others survive all this time? It's only been 2 weeks, and already I can't think of anything but food. The others have been getting the same ration for months. 2 more weeks. The legs are getting swollen. The workers told me I drink too much. I have no energy to move. Even writing feels like hard work now. Apathy, at least. The hunger's a bit blunted now. They are here. They heard us and came. Yes, they're just refugees, but they're here. Soon we'll get the supplies. It's not too late yet. Everything will be fine now, of course. The refugees are quarantined for now, but soon I'll be able to ask them about everything. Alright, the quarantine will last longer than we thought. They brought some bug with them. They also brought rations, though. We've been given meat broth for now. We couldn't stomach anything heavier anyways. What a great feeling, though. Whole body feels warm in the taste. Unforgettable. I don't get this. Second group of refugees. They also brought supplies, but it's just meat. No grains or anything. And they're all quarantined, too. Well, the last group has been there for over a month now. We haven't been told a thing about the situation in the country or the government. Why? I must have a frank conversation with Doc. Feel obliged for the old friendship's sake. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hideous, inconceivable monsters. So this is why nobody's been released from their quarantine? The fucker has the gall to offer me an officer to join the ranks again? So first they throw me out and now want me back. And they're not afraid, not in the slightest. This means everything's over up there. I don't need to check the radio. There is no government, no law, and no country. Still, does that give them the right to butcher and eat people? It didn't take much for them to become ghouls. Well, just you wait. I'll teach you fear again. I still have my gun. Luckily. Just you wait. I'll show you how the solution to the supplies problems, you hellspawn. So, right before we sail away, he tells me, launch container number 406. It's a special shipment for you-know-who. You answer with your head for it. With my head. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Lost all comms at night. The weather went to shit too. North wind was so strong I was ready to shit my pants. Never saw waves of that size in this puddle in my life. The roll was so bad some of the containers, including number 406, broke off and fell overboard, taking 2 of the crew with them. And how is this my fault? Was I supposed to just stop it with my bare hands? I rubbed down the coordinates, did all I could. If they value the shipment so much, let them fish it out from the bottom. With this letter, I, Arsene Mustafin, declare you, a lowlife calling himself the Baron, that I am the leader of my people, that a lousy traitor appointed by you. On behalf of all the people of the Free Canyon, I tell you now that we will no longer be afraid of you. We will not submit to your thugs, either. We had enough. We won't tolerate being corralled like cattle, having our young men and women enslaved. We will not have any of it anymore. We will take up weapons and chase your dogs away and kill you all. Now you will be afraid of us, because we stand for freedom. We will die for freedom, if need be. And we don't need your holy flame either, at all. Get out of our home, for we never invaded yours. Arsene Mustafin, the president of all free people of the Free Canyon. Oh, my neck, 1 second. Son, you were asking about that Yule broad. What I know about where she is and where it comes from, I have no idea why you were so interested, but I do have a lot to say. In the very beginning, the locals tried starting shit with us, a commotion like. That led them nowhere, as the Baron knew that whoever has more guns owns the joint even back then. So he got most guns, and later, as the strongest, got all the other gang leaders to submit to him. So nobody would even think of going against his will. They didn't resist, as they needed to bunch together to stand any chance. They were too busy fighting between themselves to even try that. The locals that had no wheels just stayed low in their holes, hoping he'd just up and leave all by himself one day. But he didn't. Instead, he started making things right here. Then they went outside, but it was too little too late. We smashed them like they were nothing. Then they took to guerrilla shit, gave us trouble for years. Like some boys go out on patrol, and as soon as their cars turn around a hill, you hear shots. When you get there, the cars are burning and the boys are dead. How, who, where from? Tough luck finding out. A lot of them would hide in the mountains. The ones that remained in the Baron's land would tell tales and sing songs of the free ones, bring them food. That's when I first heard of that bitch Yule. She was still a little squirt back then, but was completely ruthless already, stone-cold murderer. She'd leave nobody alive. Of course, the slaves were all her fans. Like, oh, she's a girl, but she cuts the enemy up like nobody's business. So they started telling tales of her, too. Well, the Baron's nobody's fool. He knew how to deal with those bastards. We started taking hostages, executing 10 slaves for one of our boys. Say, this village is helping the rebels? Put it to the torch. A local knows anything about the rebels. He's not going to die unless he tells us everything. You catch the drift. Pretty soon, the slaves started avoiding them like the plague. Someone sees a slave talking to some suspicious guy, the slave's whole family gets the knife. The slave tells his master he saw someone suspicious. Good job, pal. Enjoy triple rations that moment forward. And the Baron's thanks. The slaves started selling those fucks to us in droves. We stepped up our game, too, and within a few years they were not much more than a memory. That broad Yule could well be the last. Once the Baron catches her, he'll throw the world's biggest party for the boys. You take my word. Just don't you ever even think of saying she's a witch and uses her spells to keep hiding from us. The Baron does not take lightly to such remarks. I saw him use his walking stick to beat some sense to the dumbass he caught spreading that shit, saying, it's you, incompetent sons of bitches, who are too dumb to catch her, so you start retelling the slaves' tales. Beat the bastard to death, and I say he got his just desserts. That's about all I know. I try to find out where she was born or who were her parents, but no dice there. Mom sends home treats for you. Share them with the boys as customary. Give the Baron my warmest respects and gratitude. Also give a handshake to all the boys who still remember me. Don't spread the panic. Colonel Markov's suicide note is to be kept under wraps. I'm classifying as top secret. Nobody except us three is to know of his last orders, which are null and void anyway, as Colonel Markov killed himself to avoid bearing responsibility for carrying those orders out. Directive 01 is to be strictly observed. The radio silence stands. The war is still going on. We are soldiers. If we were to follow those treacherous orders, we don't have the manpower or transport required to undertake a 1,000-kilometer journey. Excuse me. Lieutenant Colonel R.V. Novikov, acting commander of Caspian 1 Satellite Communications Center. What is going on? Having finished analyzing the latest satellite photographs, we arrived at the conclusion that the reservoir is accumulating radioactive fallout, which forms a sediment at the bottom and does not interfere with the ecosystem below the dam, thus keeping the levels of pollution in the region relatively moderate. It is, although obvious, that the long-term effects will wholly depend on the waterlogged state. If the lock gate remains standing, we can safely consider the valley safe for decades. Should the water break through, though, it will bring thousands of tons of radioactive sediment with it, leaving the valley even worse off than the other polluted territories. I have so much spit in my mouth. What is going on? It's been 5 long years since our last contact with the HQ. For 5 years we've been carrying out their last order. Keep radio silence and await further instructions. The rations have been cut down to the barest minimum, yet we'll completely run out of food come summer. The people are at the verge of exhaustion. Increasing seismic activity has compromised the facility's structural integrity. We are running out of time. Environment outside is deteriorating rapidly. Satellite monitoring confirms that effective radioactive pollution levels are much higher than in any of the predicted scenarios. You can count the areas remaining relatively clean in the northern hemisphere on the fingers. The one nearest to our location is more than 2,000 kilometers away. Considering the present situation, I can no longer bear responsibility for the lives of my personnel. My final orders are: disregard Directive 01, contact the Yamantau government survival facility and demand further instructions pertaining to the actual situation. If such instructions are not received within 3 days, abandon the communications center and move out to the nearest clean zone. So I have no idea how we to cross more than 2,000 kilometers of our present state. Still, there is the only way to ensure survival of the personnel. Consider this my formal resignation letter. Colonel M.S. Markov, ex-commander of Caspian 1 Satellite Communications Center. Had a talk with the boys himself. They want to buy 1, strong slaves, 5, a slave that can forget well for forgetting pit, maybe 2, good house slave, 1, big angry dog for guard, a slave that can read and write and counts 2 to keep books. Man. Why does it spit in my mouth? What's going on? You can easily get used to the sound of those geysers. They're not really that loud. When I made some earplugs, I started sleeping like a baby. The main advantage of the place is that none of the Baron's dogs would even think of coming here. Compensates for the lot in my eyes. Just in case, though, I finished installing a zipline in the morning. Having a quick escape route never hurts. Got up to take a leak tonight. Oh my god. Got up to take a leak tonight, heard something scratching the metal somewhere down in the hold. Took my gun and went there, but only saw it scamper behind the containers. A damned spider. And I only just made myself at home here. These pests will ruin the place. I'll try to burn their asses out tonight before they multiply. They're tough to kill with bullets, but at least they hate light. If I manage to get the bastard into a lit spot, it will have nowhere to run. It dies right there. Sorry, guys. I don't know why there's so much spit in my mouth. Jesus. Pray tell me, Ivan, what is this new president of the canyon? Where did he pick up the notion of sending insulting letters to me? Is it just me, or is he rebelling against our power? Where did he come from, and why do I only hear about him now, when the situation is so close to getting out of hand? It looks to me that you people have been slacking off there. A situation out of control means spoiled goods, which means losses. My losses! Now I want you on the ground, making everything fine and dandy again. Failing that, you will bear the responsibility and compensate all of my losses out of your own pocket. This is your fuck-up, so this is only just. And yes, however it all ends, you can partially compensate your guilt by presenting the people performing that People's Tribune before me, alive. I would like to take a look at him. You saved me, and I thank you for that. But I am a dead man already. I have nothing to live for. Nothing to live for left, for I led my people to death. They all believed we could win. I decided to start the fight, not endure anymore. Was I not right? But now, everyone is dead. It was I who lost, not them. But it was they who died, not me. This is also my fault. My shame. And this shame I cannot live with anymore. I must join my people now. Arson. Wow, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that guy was like the dude up here, okay. Rasp, I'm at the airport. That corporal didn't bullshit us. My slaves just dug the hangar entrance up, and he must see it. It's chock full of pre-war shit. That old goat was right in the money. It really does look like the flyboys would just dump all the stuff they didn't need there to avoid going through the proper procedure. They were fucking wasteful before the war, that's for sure. Anyhow, not a word to anyone. Come night, take all your slaves in cars and quietly, with lights off, so that not even a demon will notice your asses. Get over here. Must get all the best stuff out before the others catch wind of this. They just start fighting over it, and then the Baron would claim it all for himself anyway. So, we take what we can while we can, hide it, and pretend we know nothing. Don't worry about that corporal. I shot him and dumped his ass into the mutant lair. This drunk would have squealed on us for sure. It's bad enough that I don't know if he told anybody else before I got to him. Burn the note. Nadir, this Baron is taking us for fools. Have you read the leaflets as flunkies heaped at all the entrances? You call yourself free people, but your leaders, superiors, and in fact owners crammed you all into caves and would have their stones fall on your heads, rather than let you receive the blessing of the holy flame. He's ripping the revelation off and thinks we're none the wiser. Do you remember asking me what is an artist to do after the doomsday? I couldn't give you any advice back then, but now I have an idea. Paint our reply to this dog. Paint it so everyone could see what it was, what is yet to be, and why we will never surrender. Paint to make souls sing. I know you can. I know you can. Always your friend, Arson. Crest, I'm writing you a note because I really wouldn't want anyone to overhear. You see, I'm preparing a wedding surprise for Katya and Stepan, and I need your help. I'm making rings for them, and I already have the band to make them out of. I just need their sizes. Stepan's not a problem, after all. I made gloves for all the crew, but I never measured Katya's fingers, and it would be a dead giveaway. If I wanted to do it now, I know you have a sharp eye, so perhaps you could help me get the right size. Help me get the size right without measuring. You could also use some help buffing the rings once they're soldered, as there's not much time left. Thanks in advance, TT. Bandit, this territory belongs to the Brezerin of the Coast. Get lost or pay with your life like others. Death to intruders. Dear Santa, my name is Arisa. I am 8 and I was a good girl this year. I wasn't a coward. I killed and skinned 2 deer and wounded 1 bandit in the leg. I'm not even lying. That's why I wanted to ask for a letter from my mom and dad this Christmas. If that isn't too much trouble for you, I miss them something awful. I don't need any other presents. What are those dogs barking at? I can only imagine what they're barking at. I just ate some food, so this would make my time even worse reading. Teddy, the teacher says we must leave all we don't need. I need you a lot because you are my bestest friend. Don't be lonely. I will visit you very often. We grew out of this camp as we grew out of childish games, and now we are leaving for the forest. We swear we become better and stronger. We'll survive in this new world. 147 signatures. Alchemist log. The wax idea didn't pay off. The mixture solidifies in the bottle, though it does burn rather well. I need to alter the formula again. Good thing there's so many bottles left from before the war. Those sure would be impossible to replace. As for the fuel, I'll crack that nut soon, I'm sure. What if I added some pine resin? That should make the mixture stick. Resin makes it too thick. Door? Or I'm back. Excuse me. Resin makes it too thick. It doesn't splash or burn well enough. What if I distill it, like the teacher explained? Turpentine should work as well as gasoline. Shit, this hurts. Just my luck standing there when the tank ruptured. Got all face scalded. Eyebrows, just a memory now. I got it. 2 liters distilled, it burns amazingly well. It is done. The perfect formula. 2 parts grease, 5 parts turpentine, 1 part wax. It splashes well, sticks perfectly, burns hot, and you can't put it out easily. Let Roman try and not make me an instructor now. It's so great we left that camp. This is the life. Yesterday, while the others were chasing rabbits, I shot a deer, and the teacher commended me at the evening assembly. We're finishing the smokehouse tomorrow, so we're definitely not going to starve this winter. And next summer, we're going to check if the city's all right. I can't take this anymore. I just can't. I'd be better off alone. I can manage. I can fish. I can go mushroom hunting. I thought 1 shot would be enough. I didn't kill him. I just closed my eyes and squeezed the trigger. Everybody did the same anyways, but I just can't do this anymore. And they keep insisting, calling me a coward, but I just can't kill. I'm not a murderer. They just don't get it. Don't have the brain capacity for it. Even Roman is just as dumb as the rest of them. We live in a forest, ergo we must be one with Mother Nature. Wolves are the rightful owners of this forest. We came here to poach their game. Naturally, they would defend themselves, and what right do we have to begrudge them for that? I am not like the rest, and the wolves know it. The wolves understand. Together we will prove that coming to terms with nature is the only way. Roman, here's what we have stored already. Venison smoked, fish dried, fish salted, nuts, fruit, mushroom. I think it's time we switch the hunters to some other activities, otherwise they'll kill off all the deer and then complain they're tired of eating just venison. It's okay. It's okay. Your hunters did a great job. We should give them some rest. Let them cut and clean around 50 pines for starters. The master seems in a foul mood. We'd better reinforce the stockade and the walkways too. Almost forgot we should go back to collecting pine resin because they're all too happy to use the bottles, but for some reason always leave making them to Eugene alone. They should get them warmed up. There's plenty more for when they are done. Roman. Luda, I don't really hope you find this letter, but I will still hide it at the place of our last discussion. Do not come back. Wherever you end up, it will still be better than here. I thought you were making a mistake. I thought you'd be proven wrong. But by refusing to shoot then, you didn't become cowards. You remained humans. While we, the ones who did shoot, we thought we became stronger. Thought we were just and could do no wrong. In fact, we became monsters. The marauders used to come often, and fighting them off for as long as I can remember. We've been killing them, and I was okay with that. But murdering the surrendering ones to the last man? I've been trying to wash the blood off my hands ever since. I used sand, I used ash. Nothing works. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm really sorry I didn't leave with you back then. Guys, I'm at the lower farm with about 30 bandits. I've been leading them from the road, hold them for half an hour maybe, losing too much blood. I'm sending the little one back with this message, because he wouldn't leave otherwise. Good luck, guys. Sierra. The camp is deserted. Where are the locals the boys were telling about? No fields, nothing. Are they all hiding in the forest? If they are, then what's the point of raiding them? Well, when the boss says jump, you just do. At least the mosquitoes are full now. At one point we heard shots at the river and rushed there, but it was just Red shooting a deer. That motherfucker. Really kept myself from cleaning his clock. In the end, we got back with nothing but the deer. 2 sentries missing in the morning. Back to the forest, gotta find them. Found our boys, pinned to the trees with arrows, throats cut. Those fuckers. At least we know they are out there. Red's group went missing. They're going to check the church. That's a small hamlet down there. And that's their hideouts. Well, you just had it coming, and it will take a long time for you to die. If anything happens to me, I want you guys to know this. At the council meeting, you people didn't support my motion to conform with the Romans' point of view. But you all know that Tullium said right before he died that he was only able to keep the master away from the camp with a Molotov. How many people do we have to lose? How long are we going to keep running from that monster? I didn't say this at the council, but I will say it here. Roman, you're a coward. I will chase the master away, or I will die. And then you will know that it was you who killed two instructors with your cowardice. Luda, you just don't understand. It does not mean that I agree with Roman if I choose to not leave with you. He fancies himself a great leader, but not even he would have the audacity to call me or anyone else in here a coward, even though we'd rather die than shoot people. I chose to stay because otherwise there'd be nobody to stop the bog mutants from breaking through into the forest. And if they ever do, that would mean that all our sacrifice, all our hard work, even our crimes, everything was for naught. Because those mutants would just destroy everything here and earn our forest, our home, into their stinky lair. I suppose they turn. Would you call me mad for believing that? I don't mind. I am mad, but I wish you luck. I wish you all the luck, and I stay. Alex. Hello again, Luda. Speaking of madmen, the Admiral with his crew are staying put at the old lumber mill. Would you imagine that? He said that rather than sit here and wait for the units to come ashore, he's going to shoot them in the water. They are all crazy, but they are ready to risk everything to make the lives of the others a bit safer. I couldn't talk them out of it no matter what, and you thought I'd abandon people like these? I'm sorry, I just can't. Good luck to you guys again. You're Alex. There was no rail car up there. Why do we even think it would be? Sure, the Marauders used it to come here, but wouldn't they leave someone to guard it? So when that someone understood the others were not going to come back, he just left with it. It looks like we're not coming back either. The spiders were just making noises in the dark corners while we were going there. On the way back, they pounced us as soon as we shut the gate. Not that coming back would do us any good. Roman is not a forgiving type. Luda would be able to talk him into letting us back, but she had her mind set on leaving, and she left. On foot, no less. Gotta admire her guts, but still, she's crazy. And again, she could actually get somewhere. It's time. The spiders are close. Farewell, everyone. It was a mistake. We shouldn't have left. I should have stayed with Roman. Then I could still hope there was real life somewhere out there behind the dam, and the guys would be alive. Now I know what's out there. It's a sea, endless of radioactive water. All the pus of this gangrenous world is gathered there to one day flood the tiny sandbox that was our universe for so many years. The dam won't last long. The reservoir used to be much smaller, and now I walked for a week and didn't see the end of it. If you find this letter, please tell the others in the valley. And again, what's the point? It's not like there's anywhere they could go. Everything is coming to an end. Just like the gas in my lamp. I don't want the spiders to get me. The whole thing seems so stupid now. Alex, I'm sorry. Oh, it's Luda. Boys, the medicine is called Renergan F. Yeah, Renergan F. But besides it, be on the lookout for antibiotics. The best would be ciprofloxacin or amoxicillin, but grab whichever you find anyways. We won't get her to Novosibirsk if we let any infection to add to gas damage. Also, try to find some xylates. I only have 2 doses left, and some medical gelatin in case bleeding does start again. If you see anything else like antiseptic, surgical suture, or bandages, pack it all. We can never have too much of that. But still, first things come first. To OSCOM Rapid Response Group Commander Lieutenant Colonel Klebnikov. You are hereby ordered to deliver the captured rioters to the Special Department and move out to take defensive positions at Sibirskaya Station at once. OSCOM Chairman Lieutenant General Vinogradov. In response to your request number 132/17A, I hereby report that, during the interrogation, the captured have stated that the main motivation behind their participation in the mass rioters was their general dissatisfaction with their economic and social situation. Quotes, we work our asses off in the dirty tunnels and you fuckers have a classy living down there. I haven't eaten a fill of meat in 10 years, though I am raising them pigs at a farm. We only get 1 measly dose of green stuff a month, which is nothing, while you fuckers pack bags full of stuff. Still, the final push for them to join the rioters was, as the group leader puts it, an alleged conspiracy of the OSCOM leadership. So you think that since we're dismantling those cars here in the boonies that we don't know shit? Boy, you're wrong about that. We know it all. The committee, the OSCOM leadership, bigwigs are setting up to flee the city like the rats they are. So they are hogging up all the green stuff. Ain't that so? And leave us here to die. We knew it all since winter. Why did they have to take half of our guys topside to clear out the tracks? Why the Sun ordered to bring the diesel online? It's been parked here for ages. We were about to take it apart, and now you want us to fix it? Don't think we're dumber than rocks. After the interrogation, the rioters, due to being undeniably guilty of sabotage, were handed off to the disposal unit as per standard procedure. Oscon Special Department Investigator Purplichik. To Private Klebnikov. For the duration of the commander's absence, Private Klebnikov is hereby given charge of the shelter. Besides his regular duties, he has, until further notice, ordered to keep the shelter door locked under any circumstances. Check the lock twice when stepping out of the shelter. Check the mushroom field twice a day, burning any discovered slime to ashes together with affected substrate. It is better to lose one patch than the whole field. Never go to the dirty stations. Check and reset the traps at least once in 2 days. There's no need for the animals to suffer needlessly, even if they are mutants. Eat the liver. Eat the liver. No excuses. Keep the radio battery charged up. Be ready for contact every noon. Half an hour window of opportunity. Cheer up. Lieutenant Colonel Klebnikov. This is the note to his son. I'm running out of time. Alright, if you want to, just pause the video and read this for yourself because I'm running out of time and I want to make it to the end. Yes, I did shut the gate. What else was I supposed to do? I've been sitting down there ever since the warning came in, and I spent all that time manning the gate. Crazy what's going on down here. Traffic jams you'll never believe. Crashes all over. Emergency team stuck in traffic, just like everybody else. Everyone went nuts. The crowd rushing for the gate with suitcases, bags, and stuff. Eyes white. I had 5 soldiers. There's no way we could have held. They started shooting into the air. The crowd rushed back. 5 people got crushed against the wall in the stampede. I couldn't do anything. I just couldn't. I am certainly not going to stand being judged by you, and not by any other man, either. Farewell. See you on the other side, I guess. Oh, we got only a few more, so. This is not important. This is just like the green stuff and whatever that they're talking about. The radio protector, and then that Renergen F right there, the good stuff. But that is that's all the notes right there. I'm sorry about kind of skimping out and reading on the last one, but as you saw, the third note or whatever was like, no, this fourth note was super long, but hope you enjoyed. However, that does not mean I'm done reading yet. That does not mean that. I'm not done reading. So, I'll get to you guys later. Goodbye. Well, actually, we can look at postcards. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.